Right now at 11, another rare wildlife sighting where a wolverine, is it the same one, was spotted roaming this time. Plus, not just another stolen car story, as thieves who took off with this truck steal something even more precious.
We're crushed. Our family's crushed. My son she's our third child.
And booking it right out of the courtroom for a second time in 2 months. A suspect makes a run for it. Good evening, and we begin tonight with one family's search for their stolen pickup, and more importantly, they say the dog who was still inside. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko. Now, while the culprits struck in the Dalles, the couple believes their vehicle and cherished pet could now be much closer to Portland. Alma McCarty with the story.
She's just an absolute sweetheart, so any person that's seen this dog would just fall in love with her.
1-year-old Ida, a German short-haired pointer, means the world to Sean and Jean Corbin.
She's very identifiable, just knowing her coloring. I've never seen another one that looked even close to her colors.
Wednesday afternoon, Ida was inside this 1991 silver Toyota pickup stolen from the Home Depot parking lot in the Dalles. Sean had gone inside briefly to talk with a friend passing by and left his keys in the truck.
We chatted for 10 or 15 minutes, and I come outside and the truck was gone. We started driving around town looking for the pickup. We got word, I talked to my wife, Jean, here, and that somebody seen the truck on I-84 westbound by Mosier.
We live in a very small town. And the crime here is just getting so much worse. It just breaks my heart.
Now the search continues in the Gorge and in the Portland Metro, where the couple believes the thief could have been heading.
My daughter and I, we drove the entire interstate, and we just haven't found her.
Jean's post on Facebook, shared thousands of times so far, encourages everyone to keep an eye out for the dog and the pickup. The Dalles police confirm neither have been located at this point.
It's a silver 1991 Toyota regular cab pickup with a black lumber rack on it and a blue stripe on the side. The lumber rack is very identifiable. The whole truck just got painted last year, so it looks brand new, even though I bought it when I was 19 years old and have been driving it for the last 32 years.
More important than getting the truck back, they say, being reunited with their dog.
I want my dog. I don't care about my pickup, my tools. Just give me my damn dog.
Now, the Corbins thank everyone who has helped spread the word so far. Anyone with information should get in contact with police. David?
Yeah, let's help bring Ida home. Thank you, Alma. For the second time this year, cameras at the Washington County Courthouse has recorded a suspect making a run for it. In this case, the defendant was not officially in custody. The sheriff's office identifying him as Jamie Regalado Pena. So the story goes like this. According to authorities, Regalado Pena showed up for his court date under the influence, a violation of his probation. So the judge then ordered the 34-year-old into custody. And before a deputy could arrive, you see it there, the suspect made his getaway. Multiple cameras there. Officials say he collided with a parked car outside and then ended up in handcuffs.
This individual on Monday, he was not in our custody. He was on probation. He came to the court probation hearing on his own accord. He was in front of the judge, and when the judge remanded him, he made a decision to run.
Okay, if this all feels like deja vu, in February, a man on trial for murder bolted out of the courtroom on the first day of jury selection. Never get tired of seeing this video. Right after deputies took off his restraints, that led to an hours-long manhunt, with the suspect eventually arrested hiding inside an apartment complex in a closet blocks away. Officials say both incidents here are now under review. Let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, including one man arrested near Lentz Park in southeast Portland after he allegedly menaced a city worker with a gun. The suspect, who police identify this evening as 33-year-old Nathan Robinson, surrendered after an hours-long standoff with Robinson in a tent. Police say they recovered a handgun that's painted blue. Robinson faces charges that include menacing and unlawful use of a weapon. Washington's governor has signed a bill that targets fentanyl manufacturers, specifically those who use pill presses to turn powder, into pills. The bill, also known as Tyler's Law, is named after 31-year-old Tyler Lee Yates, who died after taking a counterfeit prescription pill he thought was Oxy, but turned out to be fentanyl.
There's no way to tell the difference between a real one and a counterfeit. And unfortunately, in this case, it was a counterfeit, which was fentanyl. and it was enough to end his life.
Can't get that message out often enough. The law makes knowingly selling or having a pill press to create counterfeit pills a Class C felony that's punishable by up to $10,000 in fines and up to 5 years in prison. And a couple headlines tonight around abortion. First, the drug mifepristone is back on the market nationwide after a federal court of appeals halted a Texas judge's order that stripped the drug of its FDA approval. That case is now headed for the Supreme Court. Keep in mind, Oregon and Washington, we are covered by another federal ruling, so state AGs here say nothing changes yet. Meanwhile, tonight, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a new bill in that state banning most abortions after 6 weeks. If you moved to the Portland area after 2018, chances are you have never set foot in OBrien Square. It is a downtown park on an unassuming corner that has been fenced off for 5 years because of structural issues, though it appears that's about to change. Catherine Cook shows us how the grass is about to get a whole lot greener for one of the city's oldest parks.
Once upon a time, OBrien Square was a vibrant part of downtown Portland. With bricks underfoot and a fountain overhead, it was the essence of civic beauty. Now, it's sort of a monument to Portland's mounting challenges crossed with its desire for growth.
You've got the extremes of our society, from folks living and staying in the Ritz-Carlton to folks who are going to Central City Concern and to New Avenues for Youth.
And that's just outside these fences. They went up 5 years ago when officials deemed the park structurally unsound. It's built on a parking garage that's falling apart. Above ground, drug use and crime came to define OBrien Square. The question remained, what will become of it? On Wednesday, City Council members approved spending $4.5 million to tear it down.
Finally!
Randy Gregg is executive director of the Portland Parks Foundation. He wants great things for this space.
When good things aren't happening in parks, bad things often happen.
The Parks Foundation is working with Portland Parks and Rec and PSU Center for Public Interest Design. Together, they held a series of webinars and open houses in March to help them decide the park's future. 400 people shared input. Gregg says there isn't enough money to build a new square, but they can make improvements.
The square is bracketed by these sort of social extremes, but we think everybody should be able to have their park, their square, be safe and experience a lively place.
In June, the Parks Foundation will share a series of recommendations. Demolition is set to begin in the next couple of weeks. They hope to finish up in October. So what will OBrien Square look like when these fences finally come down? Short term, the city plans to keep these trees and then lay down grass over the rest of it. Kind of a throwback to the way the park looked in the 1800s when Portland's first mayor was in charge. His name? Hugh O'Brien.
It was originally platted in the first city map as Park Block 1, and that's what it's kind of going back to.
Sometimes the answer is going back to square one. In downtown Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Well, a gentle reminder tonight, tax day is next Tuesday. If you live in Oregon, you might have some local filings to worry about. Let's start with Portland's $35 arts tax. This applies to all adults living in Portland who made more than $1,000 last year. Okay, widen out to Multnomah County, the preschool for all tax that applies to people making more than $125,000 a year or couples making more than $200,000 together. If you're anywhere in Metro, do not forget about the homeless services tax that applies to the same income bracket there. You might remember the last two caught a lot of folks off guard because neither Metro or the county notified taxpayers how, where, or how much to pay. Penalties were waived after public outcry, and that included a KGW investigation. This year, reminders went into the mail. One more quick thing, it could be really confusing. All those taxes, all of them are administered by the city of Portland, so whether you qualify for one or all of them, that is where you file.